Good day, gamers. Fortain here, and welcome to episode 7 of Minecraft StoneBlock. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. It is time to show off some changes that we've made to center base here. Cleaned up a few things, expanded a few things, sorted a few things, and then we're going to make some progress today. So, first thing on the menu, I have cleaned up a lot of the different mechanisms and machines, quote unquote, that have been in this area for the past little bit, just passively generating certain things like mob drops, fish, etc. I'm still going to have them up in a little while. I just wanted to go ahead and clean them up for now so I can expand out the farm and begin working on the chicken stuff. Speaking of the farm itself is going quite well. I've been growing lots and lots of wheat here, mostly because I'm going to need an absolute tonnage of wheat for hay bales for the different nests and pens and roosts and stuff that I need to make to do all the stuff with chickens. I've expanded up these 3 areas here for when I start having access to some of the other Ham's Harvest Craft seeds, the other plantables and stuff like that, things like flax seeds, cotton seeds, and so on. That way I can grow a little bit of everything here while also still having all of the wheat here for the chicken stuff. We've expanded up the seared smeltery a little bit here, not too much. I can now hold a fair amount of stuff to smelt at one time. We've got the 2 lava tanks here. One of them is from the seared furnace, which I have put away. And I've got a little bit of automation here. This basically is just a hopper underneath the casting basin that once whatever is being poured into here solidifies, it gets automatically pulled out into this chest. Just so I don't have to come over and wait for it to cool, then right-click it every time. I can just right-click the seared faucet, let whatever it is pour out into here, go off, do other stuff, and then come back and it's already pulled out. I will potentially be automating this a little further later today, depending on how much progress we make today, with some fluid pipes that will automatically pull out from the seared smeltery into the casting basin here. And then from there, it'll just be, I toss in a whole bunch of iron or silver or whatever into the hopper here, and it just gets smelted it on through. I've got this little area set aside for some chicken work that we're going to be doing today. And over here, I have the beginnings of my my storage system. There we go. Apologies. This is pretty much the basic storage system that I use most times when I play Minecraft. It is adjusted a little bit based on the different things that are in this mod pack. I have thought about other methods of sorting things, but I just kind of come back to this one every time. The small storage crates are an addition or modification this go round. But for the simple reason of most times when I'm playing these mod packs, I tend to have these same things, these same categories every time. So instead of trying to refigure out each time, where am I going to put this block? Where am I going to put that tool? Where am I going to put this component? I just go with this sortation system and it works. I usually, more often than not, have very little problems with it. I'm not like trying to think for hours on end where something is, or where did I put something, or where should I put something. It just goes into these categories and it's done. So if you have a different method that you use, you're more than welcome to use it. I'm not saying you have to use this method. This is just works from my brain. So we'll go through it real quick. We've got our blocks section here, which takes up two columns. Overworld compressed blocks, such as cobblestone, dust, dirt, etc. Non-compressible blocks, so things like the diorite, granite, stone, also things like glass, stairs, slabs, things like that. Same thing for the nether, compressible blocks and non-compressible blocks. I've not been to the nether, haven't crafted any nether stuff, but for when I start doing so, I can put them here. Same thing for the end. Compressible blocks, non-compressible. MISC modded blocks. So this is going to be things that really don't fit into the other categories, but are blocks versus crafting components or organics, things like that. They'll just go into here. And last but not least, useless decorative blocks. Some mod packs have blocks in it that are there to make the terrain look better, look prettier, but unfortunately you just can't do anything with it. You maybe can't craft them. There's no recipe that they're involved in. They're decorative, they're pretty, and they make the world look more vibrant and varied, but unfortunately you just can't do anything with it. If you see my previous playthroughs for Sevtech Ages, things like the Sansa Stone or Sarsa Stone, I believe it's called, or the Blue Stone, you couldn't smelt it into blue stone or make the blue cobblestone into blue stone. You couldn't craft tools with it. You couldn't craft like staircases or slabs or anything. It was just literally just the Sansa Stone or just the blue stone, and that's it. Rather than throwing it away, I'd put it into a useless decorative blocks. Why? Because I don't throw anything away. Next up, we have crafting components, which is going to be a large amount of what I'm having to store. Miscellaneous stuff, so things that don't have a specific category at the moment. The pebbles, paper, books, things like that. Mob drops, hostile and passive, so bones, gunpowder, string for the hostile. Yes, I know I've been getting gunpowder from sieving and strings from trees, but eventually I'll have a mob grinder set up to be able to gain these things, and that's where the mob drops will go. Also things like spider eyes, zombie flesh. Passive mob drops, so feathers, leather, rabbit's feet, hide. Things like there really isn't that. Well, sheep's wool, things like that will go in here. We have raw ores, so all of the raw ores that I've been getting while sieving that I haven't processed yet, as well as things like the Certus quartz, the skystone dust, yellorium. We have the processed ores, so all the stuff that I've smelted together or just put together: flint, glowstone, iron. This is going to be expanded by quite a lot once I actually start combining some of these materials to make things like electrum or modularium or like resonant ender, redstone ingots, things like that. This is going to be expanded by quite a bit. But for now, this works. We have miscellaneous organics, so things like miscellaneous flowers, leaf blocks, grass blocks, dyes made from the plants. So like you have cactus, then you'd have the cactus green dye that you can make from the cactus. So I would put that in here, miscellaneous organics. The biggest organic chest we're going to have, which is currently a small storage crate, I may have to increase this to a large storage crate at some point. Saplings, seeds, and seed items. So all the different saplings we've been getting from either crafting or sieving, all the seeds that we have, and then seed items. Things like in normal Minecraft, you would grow cactus from cactus. You would grow a carrot from a carrot. You would grow sugarcane from sugarcane. Or even things like vines. You would get more vines by growing vines. So that's what seed items would be. The apple sprouts are similar. It's a seed item. I will be planting some of these over in the farm a little later, but for right now, I just have them kind of right here. I may, like I said, have to set this up to be a large storage crate, just given the number of, if we take a look at saplings, for example, we've got all of these saplings here, in addition to the forestry saplings that we can kind of like craft along the way. We've also got all of these saplings we can get from Natura and Pam's Harvest Craft and Tinker's Construct. And if we look at seeds, we've got a few here. We've got all the different Mystic Agriculture seeds, all of the Industrial Craft type seeds, all of the Mystic Agriculture seeds continuing here, all the Pam's Harvest Craft seeds. random things, seeds. Yeah, so there is a lot of seeds that we'll be able to have. So I may eventually, depending on how quickly I get access to the digital storage, I may have to turn this into a large storage crate to hold all that. But for now, small storage crate works. A little extra spot here just to have for expanding later on. And then wood and wood-based items. So all the logs, the planks, sticks, and then things made out of wood like hoppers, chests, fences, and so on. I used to put wood over in blocks, but then after a while it's like, well, I don't want to separate things made out of wood into like crafting components. So like wood fences, yeah, that would be made out of wood, and that's technically a block, so it'd be over here. But like sticks would be over here with crafting components, and it ended up being a big to-do for my brain to be like, do I put this wooden thing here or here? So I just moved wood and wood-based stuff into crafting components. Like I said, it makes sense for my brain. We have equipment here. So armor, ammo, modded tools, and weapons. So your different books for the different mods that I don't have a specific chest for yet. You have vanilla tools here, different modded tools here. The meshes that I'm going to be potentially using for other things right here, and so on. We have food, raw food, tools, and prepared foods. So all the raw food that I've been creating so far, most of this just comes from the water strainer from Pam's, just constantly making more fish, and breaking apart the leaf blocks to get silkworms. All the tools that are used for making food, so like bowls, pots, pans, dishes, juicers, things like that. There's going to be a lot of that stuff from Pam's. And then the prepared foods, the stuff that I'm ready to eat. Right now, I'm organizing it by the amount of saturation it restores. This restores 1.5 meat bones. This one restores 2.5 meat bones. The quality of food right now is, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not like running around having a bunch of combat in my base. You know, I'm not digging out a ton of stuff all the time. So the fact that the apple juice restores 2.5 meat bones is inconsequential. It doesn't matter. It's just there to keep me from starving, and to make sure if I like take a bit of fall damage from trying to mine out something in the ceiling or whatever, that I can heal it up. Later on, if I'm doing a lot of stuff that requires like a lot of heavy combat, a lot of moving around, jumping, and so on, or if I have some sort of apparatus like a another example from Sevtech, the blood altars for blood magic. I have to give life essence to gain life essence in the altar. That damages me. I need food to be regenerating my health. So if that's the case, then I'll start making better and better foods and have them organized from like least saturating to most saturating, and I can eat what I need to. Right now, I've got a ton. I had a ton of apples. I made apple juice. It works. I have a ton of silkworms. I cooked some silkworms. It works. Next up, we've got potion ingredients and ready-made potions. I'm probably not going to need too many potions in this mod pack. I'll make them all just to do it. But I probably won't need very many, considering, again, I won't have a lot of really heavy combat. The heaviest combat will be probably during boss battles, which there aren't a lot, but there are a few. Botania has some boss fights. And in that, I'll definitely want to have some potions, things like strength, speed, regeneration, and so on. But this is going to be a kind of a holding spot. And then, as always, retired and useless equipment. So all the loot chests that I've been getting go in here. Stuff that I'm not using anymore because I've made better stuff. So like my wooden shears, my stone shears. The stone paxel because I'm using an iron paxel. The compressed stone hammer. The old sieve and the old mesh that I don't need for it anymore. Stone crook because that only breaks dirt blocks into saplings. And the oak crucible that simply turns organics into water. Don't need it anymore. It's going to go in the retired bin. just in case I happen to find a need for it later on, that I'm like, oh, I actually have one of those. I don't need to make another one. It's in there. Why? Because I don't throw anything away. We know this. We have a row of blank stuff, empty stuff for now, just for expansion in case I need, and then stuff that's kind of being devoted to specific mods for right now. So we got Botania stuff, chickens, which is going to be the chickens mod, the hatchery mod, and the roost mod. That's all going to go in here because I'm going to use it all for the same stuff. We have a couple blanks, and then the dumpage chest and stuff to sort. This is kind of hey, I just need to empty my inventory real quick. I don't really care where stuff goes. Just boosh, get it in there, and I will sort it out later. So, like, this wooden trapdoor can go into wood. All this Tinker's Construct stuff here, I should probably put into a Tinker's Construct chest. I haven't yet, but I'm going to. But, you know, that's where this stuff would go, is in a Tinker's Construct chest. Like the baits from Pam's Harvest Craft. Like I said, mostly just, I need to empty my inventory real quick. Just shift everything into here. I now have an empty inventory. I can go work on whatever. But yep, this is the basic storage area. I'm probably not going to expand it too much larger than what it currently is. I'll refine a few things here and there. Just because there's not a lot of stuff from each of the different mods in the mod pack that's going to require like its own dedicated chest for. And then once I have access to the digital storage, 95% of this is going to go into digital storage. The only chests I'll keep set aside are going to be for like specifically for tools and armor and stuff, just so I don't have to search through the digital storage. And the weird things that don't store very well in the digital storages because they have some weird NBT data or they don't stack correctly or things like that. But that is the improvements and the cleanup that I've done around here in Center Base. Let's go ahead and start making some progress. So I would like to make a couple things to be able to work on a few things off camera. And then we're going to be moving on to actual progress. The first thing that I would like to make is pretty simple. I thought I had made one before, but I think I just ended up getting distracted with seeing something in a chest. Oh, now I need to go do this. Is to just simply make a chisel. If we take a look at the recipes for chisels, I'm not doing the chisels and bits ones. I'm using the actual chisels that you can use to change the way blocks look. I'm not going to worry about the eye chisel. I'm just going to go straight for the diamond chisel because I have plenty of diamonds. I have a lot of iron. I have a ton more that I could smelt, but I might as well just go for the diamond chisel because of the extra durability on it. So the main thing that I want the diamond chisel for, or any of the chisels really, is I want to be able to change the look of, for example, the seared bricks and seared stone here in Tinker's Construct. If I decide I want it to look different, I can just pop it into the chisel and like, no, I actually want some seared pavers, or I want to have this section made of, you know, seared road, and I want to have this section made of seared tiles, and so on. I can go ahead and do that by just tossing a certain amount of blocks into the chisel versus having to like smelt all the blocks again, pour them out into either a casting basin or onto the casting table with a certain pattern. I can just use the chisel. So that makes my job in certain decorating much easier. So we've got that made. Very nice. I would like to make a small correction that I realized, oh, I done goofed. In previous episodes, I had a redstone torch. Sitting above the eggs. I'm like, oh yeah, I put a redstone lamp above the egg in the nest, and that'll hatch faster. If you'll notice, this is not a redstone lamp, it's a redstone torch. It even says, if you take a look at the nest, There we go. Egg nest. Place an egg into the nest and will auto hatch your chicken over random time. Placing a redstone lamp, a heat lamp will be replaced later, up to 3 blocks above the nest will increase the speed. I read that and I'm like, oh yeah, a redstone lamp. That's a redstone lamp. No, Fortane, that's a redstone torch. That's not a redstone lamp. So my apologies for anyone who might have been looking or watching that part and go, that's not a redstone lamp. That's a redstone torch, you dingus. Yep, that's on me. I goof every now and again. We all goof, but that's fine. So a redstone lamp is simply redstone surrounding glowstone, which is easy enough to do. I should have plenty of both here in processed ores. Let's make 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make 5. Just for right now, if nothing else. I have this area set up for chickens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good enough for me. The next hard problem is going to be remembering how to power these dang things, because that is something that never makes sense for me. There we go. Is how to actually power things made with redstone. I've like watched several guides on how to power redstone, and there's just certain things that just don't make sense. Like, you can place it on this side of a block and it'll power it just fine. You place it on this side of a block and it won't even recognize the fact that it's powered. Power will not transmit through it. You can, put a whole bunch of powder on the ground in different methods. Nope, power doesn't get there. So we're going to experiment with that for a moment. Let's see. Gotcha. Considering we're going to be working with chickens, at least for a little bit, I am going to go ahead and start grabbing some of the chicken stuff here. We'll experiment with the chickens in addition with the redstone lamps. The food, I'm going to need a lot of hay bales, and I'm also going to need some wood. So we're going to make a few things. Actually, let me also grab the wooden hoppers and some chests for right now, because I want to set up a little bit of automation, quote unquote, for the chickens. So we are going to make some nests for the eggs themselves. Just these nests. We've got, well, let's have 5, 2, 3. Perfect. These are going to be the ones that we place the eggs into. Those will have the redstone lamps above them. And then we want nesting pens. How many should we make for right now? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make 8 nesting pens. So we can have a nice varied amount. So we're going to need another 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Perfecto. And then 8. Perfect. Okay. We've got some nesting pens. We got some nests. I will go ahead and take... yeah, let's do that. We've got... move these here for a moment. We've got the wooden hoppers. We've got these chests, which I'll make some more chests in just a second. This is just kind of a temporary scratch-built setup here. Boop. Like so. Like so. And I can just use this kind of as a proof of concept to get things up and running. We experiment with stuff for a little while, figure out how it works, and then we do the better versions later on. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Oh, I already had a nesting pen. Herp-de-derp. That's all right. They'll get used. 100% they'll get used. I will be making so many nesting pens later on that the fact that I made an extra one right now is not a big deal at all. Boop and boop. And then nesting pen. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and get our nests, the egg nests here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay. So we have the egg nests. We have the redstone lamps above it. Obviously, I'm pretty sure the lamps themselves have to be turned on. Here's going to be the part that it requires some experimentation because, as I said previously, I'm never exactly sure how redstone works. Like, I know if I just make some, I'm pretty sure if I just take some levers and put them on top of each of these redstone lamps and then flick the lever, that should turn the redstone lamp on. Let us try, just out of curiosity, if I do this. So the redstone torch provides power, theoretically speaking. Aha! There we go. Look at that. They're actually powered. I did it! I used redstone! Oh, yep. Huzzah, huzzah, redstone, huzzah. Oh. I now see the error of my ways. I put the chest there instead of the nesting pen. There we go. Okay. So, these and all now have redstone lamps above them, which means that these should hatch faster. Let us grab a vanilla egg and give it a test. I should have a lot of eggs right here. I'm just going to take them to the side for now. Boop. Let's take a vanilla egg. Vanilla eggs. And we shall place it in here and see how long it takes to grow. Boop. Okay. 1. 2%. Okay. I think this is faster than what it was originally, or what we were seeing before. As to exactly how much faster, I'm not sure. I do kind of wonder, and this is going to be something for like later on, is if we were to use something that that forced like a tick update for this block here, would that speed it up? Like, is it time-based or tick-based? Like, any time that block randomly has a tick update, it can advance the growing. I don't know. I'd like to grab some seeds. And since we have that going, let's go ahead and place these first chickens into these nesting pens here. So I believe what I'll need to do, there's the inventory of the nesting pen itself. The wooden hopper will pull stuff out and put it into this chest just so things don't start overflowing. If we place the chicken's got googly eyes, and then over here like so, shift, boom. Hey, we have a chicken. This chicken will be making drops roughly every 4.5 minutes. The drops will go into the wooden hopper and into the chest. So now we have infinite stuff from this chicken. We shall do the same thing for the smart chicken. Boop, smart chicken. Your stats are still good. Grab the smart chicken. Now, most likely at some point, I will retire the standard chicken, because the smart chicken gives the exact same drops. It just has better stats. Boop. And there we go. So every 5 minutes in this nesting pen, the smart chicken will provide stuff into said nesting pen, the wooden hopper, into there. Okay. Chickens be going. The egg is being worked on. Now, there are a ton of different eggs that I can make now with different colored dyes and such. Let's see. The easiest way for me to get dyes right now is actually going to be going through and doing a bunch of stuff with Botania. Botania is going to be the easiest access I have to all the different dyes. And if we take a look at the eggs, so for example, pink chicken egg, you can pink artificial dye, pink pigment, and floral pink powder. The floral pink powder comes from the Botania flowers. So let's go ahead and grow up at least one of each of the different Botania flowers. That'll get me access to all the petals I need to make more floral fertilizer to get said flowers. We're going to keep an eye out on the eggs over there. So we are going to need some more bone meal. That is perfectly fine. I've gotten a fair amount of bone meal already sieved earlier. Let's do that much for right now, just to start. I don't want to make, because I really don't have to use the Botania flowers themselves for much of anything. They're only useful for like one specific crafting thing. I don't want to make too much floral fertilizer, but we will make some to start. 32, 245. We can watch the egg over here. Once the egg hatches, we'll be able to do the next thing. Okay. There are 16 different colors of the Botania flowers. Just as in there are 16, base colors here in Minecraft. So once we have all of the different flowers, we'll have all the colors. And as we've shown in the past, once you have one petal of that color of Botania flower, you now have infinite of that color, because you can plant a petal, use bone meal to grow it. It becomes a tall flower. The tall flower becomes 4 petals. Plant one of the petals down, bone meal it again, and so on and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're missing 3 colors, it looks like. Ooh. I heard a chicken make its pop sound. Who made the pop sound? Is that you, chicken? Let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chicken! So 6 minutes. And in here we have some feathers, some chicken manure, and that's all it laid this time. That's fine. Let's check on the status of the egg itself. 76%. It is a redstone lamp. It is less than 3 blocks above. I don't know if maybe having it higher up would speed it up. I don't think that should make a difference. I will double check later on. But, yeah, that's fine. Theoretically, it's faster growing than what it was just sitting there. Continue making some Botania plants. I do most definitely plan on getting into Botania as we go. For now, I'm just kind of like poking at different parts of it based on what I need. I'm getting a nice amount of the white petals, which is good. I'll need that for making the pure daisies and stuff. Let me grab the Botania book just to have it on me, just in case. Egg's still going. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. We're missing one color. Which we should hopefully get soon. If not, we can just craft more floral fertilizer. Hey, there we go. That is all 16 colors. Perfect. Oh, and there's our baby chicken. Here's a baby chicken. Come here, baby chicken. Grab the chicken stick. Hi, hello. We're gonna make you grow up nice and big. So, because we have a chicken over there, we don't actually need this chicken for really anything. I mean, food. But for now, we'll just go ahead and catch it with a chicken catcher and place it back in storage. Aha! Now take a look at this. So our smart chicken is producing smart chicken eggs. And if we notice, the growth, gain, and strength stats are higher than the original chicken. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 222 smart chicken egg. I'm going to... Let's actually test something real quick. I'm going to grab a little bit more redstone, and I'm going to grab some more wood. Some planks back. I don't need the floral fertilizer for the moment. I would like some more redstone, please and thank you. I do want to see if there is a difference in the height. Oh, can I not? It's too tall. I cannot jump on the thing. I do want to see if the height of the redstone lamp makes a difference. I don't think it should, but I'm curious to see if it does. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this one set up to 3 blocks above. And actually, we're going to test... Well, let's see. That is... Yeah, that's 1 block above. It literally cannot go any higher. Okay. Does that grant power? No. Time for experimenting with redstone. Because I don't really know redstone. Okay, cool. So that is 2, and that is 3. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So if this makes a difference, this is 1 block above, that's 2 blocks above, that's 3 blocks above. I don't know if there's going to be any difference in terms of hatching time, but we saw how fast, quote unquote, that first egg was hatching. It was going not super fast, but theoretically a little faster than baseline. We'll take this smart chicken egg, 222, place it here, and see if that makes any difference. Say it honestly feels about the same. Maybe even a little slower. I think if you stand on it like this, you're supposed to be like, oh, I'm acting like a mother chicken. And that's definitely increasing it. It's increasing it by 2. Sometimes, not always. I know, chicken, I know. Ah, that's fine. Okay, so it's hard to tell whether this one or this one is faster. We'll just let it go and continue on. But But then what we can do is we can take that 222 chicken egg and replace this 111 smart chicken with a 222 smart chicken. All right, back to work. Ores go away. Wood goes away. Our starter chicken can go right here. Bum, 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 bum. Yes. I do want to make sure that I have enough of each of these to make a colored egg. So we're going to need the tools. There's my shears. Here they are. Let me actually go ahead and make another set of shears, just because these ones are getting kind of beat up. There we go. Okay. So each of these flowers becomes the associated petal. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to grow enough of each of these petals to be able to make one of each of the, or maybe two each of the colored eggs. Just so I've got them. One to put in the hatchery over there to make sure we can get that color of egg, and then one to have safe as an extra, just in case. We're going to need more bone meal for that. Not going to take a lot of bone meal, considering we're going to only need to grow each one of these maybe twice, just to get enough petals. Boop, boop, boop. Shears. That becomes that. Boop, boop, boop. Perfect. Okay, that's plenty, yeah. Yeah, so basically what we need is we're going to need 16 of each of the different petals for making 2 eggs. And then after that, we'll want to have a little bit extra just to make sure we don't run out while crafting other things. Go. Oops, wrong spot. Get the purples here. That's plenty enough purple. Don't need a whole lot more white than what we currently have, which is nice. I will probably have at the very least one just, you know, bog standard chicken going at all times, just to make sure that I get, like, I will never have, you know, I'll never have to worry about running out of the most basic of chicken drops. I'm pretty sure that the smart chicken will also drop said drops, but just so I have one of each. There we go. That's plenty of light blue. Let me grab some more bone meal. There we go. Keeping an eye on our egg over there. The other reason that I'm doing this now is if I happen to be working on some stuff off camera, like just grinding up materials, arranging parts of the base, things like that, and we happen to get a better quality chicken of one of the kinds, like, oh, we now have a, say, a 333 smart chicken. If I go ahead and replace it off camera, you all will know what I've done. It's not going to be like, hey, how did that chicken suddenly go from, you know, a 111 to a 999? Well, it didn't suddenly go to that. I didn't like hack myself in a 1010 chicken egg. I was working on stuff off camera. You know, a 111 becomes a 233, becomes a 344, becomes a so on and so on. And I've just replaced those chickens over time. I will definitely show you the different steps that I've taken to get said chickens. Like, for example, I'll have a chest of all of the intermediary chickens, the step chickens, if you will, just to show them, like, okay, here's all of the different progress I made getting up to this 1010 chicken. If you've seen my previous playthroughs of regrowth, it's going to be the same as the different seeds that you could grow up in that mod pack, where you start with a 111 seed, you then grow it up to like a 112 seed, then a 222 seed, and so on. Most of those were live streamed way back when. I don't remember if I have the VODs for them anymore, but I'll probably create an actual full playthrough of them some other time, just to have like an updated run through that game, or through that mod pack, I should say. But it's the same basic idea. There is just, by the nature of the mod and the mod pack, there's a lot of waiting around, standing and doing nothing while you are waiting for X seeds to grow up to be better seeds. You know, going from a 111 seed to a 1010 seed, it takes a while. And I'll usually have, you know, some fair-sized farms that are devoted to nothing but growing seeds to be better seeds. So instead of having you all sit there and, you know, I'm constantly like running over here to this farm, checking this seed. Okay, run over here, examine the seed, run back here, replant the seed. Okay, run back over here, continue working on thing. Oh, my 5-minute timer has gone off. Okay, run back over to the farm, check to see, fall in the water, check to see if any of my seeds grew. Okay, my seed grew. Nope, that seed didn't grow. Okay, run back over here. I will show you the initial planting of the seeds, how to craft the different seeds and so on, because that's going to be important. But like all the time spent off camera just waiting for the seed to grow from you know, beginning state to max state, I'll probably just do off camera while I'm like spending time digging out the next section for chickens, or spending time digging out one of the basements for making the machine area. I'll just have that running in the background essentially, and then show you the update when I make the next episode of, here's what's been going on in the background. Here's the types of chickens that I've been able to breed up to be this, you know, this strong chicken. I hope you all don't mind, because I would like these videos to be somewhat more concise than 3 hours of, you know, standing around waiting for, as I said, different eggs to grow, different seeds to grow, like that. So showing the initial bits and then showing the updates later on, I think would be the best middle road, versus here is 3 hours of me doing nothing but just running around my base doing this, waiting for the next seed to grow. All right, that is enough pink. We'll go to black. Say if I was doing this multiplayer with other folks, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. Like if I was just recording, say, you know, a 3-hour play session with you know, doing this on a multiplayer server, yeah, it would take 3 hours, but at the same time I'd have 3 hours of chatting with people and so on. That would help to pass the time while I'm waiting for seeds to grow in the background. But alas, this is single player. That's all right. As much as I very much enjoy playing with other folks, there are definitely benefits to doing certain things, like mod packs like these in single player if you're intending them to be more of a guide versus, here's just me spamming this thing for 3 hours. Chicken is going nicely over there. I'm still keeping an eye on it. Let me go ahead and grab some more seeds real quick for when it does grow up. That way I can have it become a large chicken. Refill my seeds. Thank you. What are we at? Mystery egg. 88%. Perfect. Sit there with a watering can, water the egg to make tick updates. Be like, yeah, that works. Hey, we got eggs. And so, okay, this is interesting. The smart chicken will grow, or they'll produce regular eggs, but obviously they're producing their smart chicken eggs with the increased stats. This one's 332. Oh well, I could have had this one growing instead of the other one, but the other one came out first. But I do believe if I take this egg, yes, so I can remove the NBT data from this of being a smart chicken egg as well as the stats, and then just turn it into a regular Minecraft egg. Boop. There we go. Nice. So that way I don't have to have like an entire chest of nothing but eggs all over the place of like, yes, here's all the intermediate eggs that I've gotten from this one type of chicken to now get to where I am of, I have a 1010 chicken. I have 1010 of this chicken. There we go. Okay. That should be... Hey, there's my smart chicken. It's a new baby smart chicken. Get my chicken catcher and the animal net. Come here, baby chicken. Hi. So let's grow this thing up to an adult chicken. There we go. Yeah, once you see it hits the countdown timer for growing, hits about 10 seconds, it's not worth feeding it any more seeds, because once it hits 8 seconds, it's not going to go any faster. So around 10 to 8 seconds, just go ahead and stop. Okay, so we have our smart chicken, strength 222. We're going to take this chicken out. We're going to place this chicken down, chicken catch it, switch these two, smart chicken, animal net, and there we go. 222 smart chicken. It'll make drops faster, it'll make more drops, and it'll be a heartier chicken. So that is the process I'm going to use to be continuously upgrading each of the chickens that I show you that I make. Once they create eggs that are better, I shall hatch the eggs, replace the old chicken with the new chicken, and so on. Speaking of chicken, our basic chicken will go right here. I'm not going to grow any more eggs at the moment. I'm just going to let those cycle through, specifically because I do want to go ahead and craft a bunch of the different colored eggs. Let's see. Go ahead and put away the chicken catcher, the animal net for the moment. I don't need any bone meal on me. There we go. I do need a bunch of eggs. I have some here. And let's go grab the eggs that these guys have been producing. 3 there. And that's the same. Okay. So I don't have enough eggs themselves to make one of each color, or excuse me, 2 of each color, but I can make at least 1 of each color. So there is that. I would like to go ahead and alphabetize these real quick first, just to have that done. So we've got black, blue. We should have brown next. C, we're going to have cyan. There's no D's. G, so we're going to have gray and green. H, I, J, K, L. L is going to be the next one. That's going to be light blue and light gray. And lime. We've got magenta. O for orange. Then we've got P for pink. And then purple. Q, R. White. And yellow. Yes, I did just go through the alphabet to make sure I put these in alphabetical order. Why? Because it works. And if it works, why not do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to take some of each of these. I'm just going to right click to take half a stack. We're going to make the powders out of these just so I have them for both crafting these color eggs as well as for crafting other things later on. Mostly just like mana powder. There we go. Oop. I know I'm going to have to use the... there we go. I'm going to have to use the crafting table for making the actual colored eggs themselves, but that's okay. And there we go. So I've got plenty of each color. Let's take the egg and we've got ourselves a blue egg. Ourselves a black egg. I'm not doing these really in any specific order. Just kind of going down the line here. I will put them in alphabetical order later on, but for now. There we go. There is that one. One chicken that I want to go ahead and get up and running right now is this bone white chicken, specifically because the bone white chicken lays bone meal. So I will have a nice constant source of bone meal beyond just sieving certain materials for it. So we take the bone white chicken. There we go. Pop it in the egg nest. And that'll just hatch up slowly on its own. I will go ahead and make one more bone white chicken egg. Just so I have one to put in the storage here for now. Boop. Chickens. Here's all of these colors. Those are the ones that I've already made. And we'll continue on with these. Now, do I have many plans for these? Not really, considering all of these dyes mostly just grow more dye. So like the cyan chicken will lay cyan dye. I really don't have much use for cyan dye beyond like the occasional, coloring of a block. But I will have them in case I do need them for anything. And if nothing else, each of these colored chickens will be making feathers, which is always useful, and manure, which I can turn into a source of power later on. There we go. I made 2 cyan chicken eggs. Whoops. Oh well, not a biggie. So then we'll put all these powders in here. So again, we got black, blue, brown, cyan, gray, we got green, light blue, light gray, lime, magenta, orange, pink, purple. Oh, I had more cyan than I thought. That's fine. I made a bunch of cyan earlier. That's all right. Red, white, and yellow. Perfect. And we have 10 extra eggs left over. I'm actually going to, instead of keeping the eggs and the hay bales in the food chest, because I don't need them for food right now, I'm actually just going to place them in the chicken chest just to keep them separate, just so I don't accidentally make food out of them or accidentally make something else. But we've got all these here. We will be able to grow our colorful chickens. There are a few other chicken types that we can make that aren't based on these colors. Are they on this screen, or do we need to look them up? Yeah, it's a little weird. So the ones that say can't be bred are the ones that we need to do. So lapis blue chicken, a lapis blue chicken egg. So we already made that one. Right click vanilla chicken with a grass block, which we don't have access to grass blocks yet. We don't have chicken osto. We don't have access to milk, so we can't make cake yet. Spawn type hell. We're not in the nether. Flint chicken. Oh yeah, we just surround a chicken egg with flint and make a flint chicken. Actually, just need one of those. Compressed flint. And we have ourselves a flint chicken. Because Mr. American Chicken? Probably not. Oh, let's see. That is cactus green. We've already got that one. Yeah, there's a log chicken. That's one of the ones I was looking for. So we surround a chicken egg with logs. Makes a log chicken. And it produces just regular old logs. Log chicken. I think there's... excuse me. I think there's also the sand... Oh, let's see. Well, I already got the smart chicken. Bone white chicken got... Ink black. We've already got the black one. Nether quartz chicken is spawned in hell. Yellow. Funway chick. You drop firework rockets. If it dropped TNT, that would be somewhat useful because TNT can be used, and believe it or not, you can use TNT as a type of fuel for one of the furnaces, or not furnaces, but generators. Sand chicken. Here we go. So just surround a chicken egg with sand. Okay. I think that's the last egg we're going to make. Possibly the last bit we're going to do for today. Sand chicken. There we go. All right. I shall be right back. Alrighty, we're back. Apologies for that quick pause there, although for you guys it was barely a second or two. We have made these extra chickens here. The last thing that I'm going to do for today, is I'm actually going to make something that I don't normally make, just because there's much, at least in my opinion, much better versions of it available, and that is there is a fluid pipe by Cyclic, not Cyclist, Cyclic. There we go. Because I want to start up a little bit of automation for pumping fluids out of the smeltery here, just to be able to process all those ores that you've seen over in here, just to process these a lot faster, as well as increase the speed at which I can put stuff into the smeltery here. There is I'm not doing the wireless ones, which is kind of neat, but I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to make the fluid extraction cables. He's right here. So gold nuggets, weighted pressure plates, and droppers. I'm going to make a couple of them. Now, like I said, normally I honestly don't bother making these simply because in a mod pack that has access to mechanism, I would just go ahead and make the mechanism things. But with power and mechanism being a little ways off, I figured I'll go ahead and make it for now. Take one gold nugget and a little bit of iron here, because I don't want to make too many of those weighted plates. But since, like I said, mechanism is going to be a little ways off, this will allow me some incremental automation while I work on other things. Neat. Conveyor belts. Okay, those are kind of cute. I might look into those later. We'll see. But let's see. We're looking for the fluid extraction cable. So I need to make a weighted pressure plate. I need a piece of redstone. That's correct. Boop. There we go. Let's see. I need a dropper, and I need some gold nuggets. There we go. Fluid extraction cable. Perfect. What we can do with this is going to be a couple things, actually. We take this yellorium block, and we take the crucible. We can make an example here. Let's see. There. And we're going to place down the yellorium block, place down the crucible. That makes lava at 20 times speed. And then what we should be able to do is take the fluid extraction cable. There we go. And so this will extract fluids from here and put it into here. So if we take this, boop, there we go. Perfect. Very nice. Say it's not super fast. Don't really need it to be fast. Although, I mean, it looks like it's transferring, what, a bucket at a time? So that's fast enough for me. I just come over here every now and again, plunk a few pieces of cobblestone or whatever in. And we're good for that. Let's see. We will make one more just to automate the output. Let's see. So one more weighted plate. One more dropper. And fluid extraction cable. Again, there's nothing that's preventing me from using this. It's not like, oh, I'm breaking any sort of rules or anything by using this or making this. It's just one of those things that when you have so many options to do something, to make a thing, I tend to just go with the one that I know the most, even if it takes a bit longer. So there's definitely times where, like, it takes me longer to make a thing because I'm going towards a thing that I know and know well, versus like putting together all the material for all the incremental steps that I could be using instead to get to that point. You know, maybe go a little faster. And that's, you know, that's kind of a detriment to myself. I fully admit that. There's definitely times where, like, well, if I take the time to make this thing now, Once I'm done making this thing, that speeds up the production of these things. And because now I've sped up the production of these things, I can get to the thing that I want to make potentially even faster. Yes, it took some time to make the intermediary step, but now I've sped up all these other things with said intermediary step versus just waiting and waiting and waiting and doing things manually until I get to the main step that I'm looking for. So, like I said, it's definitely something I notice that I do on occasion. It's my brain being my brain, but like, well, this mod pack has this in it. I'm only gonna focus on this. So, like I said, normally I would be using mechanism stuff, and I definitely plan on using mechanism stuff, but for right now, this is a nice bit of early, easy automation. Let's see. That should be... Why are you saying you have 304 gold in there? There should not be any gold, considering I put... Let's see. I put 9 in there, which doubles up to the 18. Yeah, it takes 144. Is this a visual bug? Is it not? I put 9 in there. That should give me 2 blocks. Let me toss another 9 in there. That's kind of a strange interaction. Take one more look at it. Okay, that's all smelted. Good. Actually, just have these in my inventory here. Okay, there's nothing in there. It's saying there's... Where is this extra gold coming from? Is what I'm curious about. Because there's no reason for there to be extra gold coming through this pipe. I don't want to break this and have it be like legitimate actual gold that I'm losing from it. But so this should put 288 in there. 704 plus 288. So this should bring it up to... Okay. All right. Cool. That's good. It's a visual bug. It's 100% a visual bug. Because you'll notice now it's saying 288. So if I were to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's a concerning visual bug for me to see, because I'm gonna think like, oh crap, it's like actually legitimately has stuff in there that I'm going to lose. But no, that's... Maybe I won't use... Maybe I won't use these fluid pipes if they're creating such a visual bug. Either that, or I'm simply going to have to remind myself that, yeah, it is 100% a... Okay. Put one more in there. Apologies for this episode being a little extra longer. I was intending to this last part to be just a minute or two. But then I'm seeing this weird visual bug, so I'm like, let me test this real quick. $12.96. And good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's just it's not a bug in terms of hello, bone white chicken. I'm sorry, I was paying attention over there. Yes. Let me get you. How did you? Oh, I left the steps there. That's on me. Let me grab some seeds to make you nice and big. Grab the net to catch you. Yeah, I left that right there. I'm like, how did he get out? Hi. Hello there. Come here. Come here. I'll make you nice and big. And we'll end this episode with growing up a bone white chicken. Oh. There we go. Okay, so note to self, if it looks like there's extra left in there, there actually isn't. It's just visual. Gotcha. And now I have a bone white chicken in there. And you are making some nice smart chicken eggs. And you are making some regular chickens. Okay, cool. Now with that bug sussed out, we'll be able to automate making this even better, even bigger, even faster, smelt more things. All right, I do believe we're good. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good game.